Do take the time to view a short 2.5-minute video on YouTube entitled A Blind Bit of Difference. You can be considerate to a VIP without even having to encounter one. And if you operate a street-side business, while a certain amount of street furniture or advertisement boards are understandable, please be careful with their placement. Imagine you are a VIP negotiating them, and be considerate. The same applies to vehicles parked on footpaths. As it is dangerous for a VIP to step into the road, please allow enough space to pass on the path. And of course, people with buggies and wheelchairs need that space too. More regular acquaintances. White stick, mobility cane. There can be a huge psychological step for a VIP to adopt the use of a mobility cane. This revolves around a whole range of issues which will not be addressed here, but suffice it to say there are many VIPs who don't use one. To the extent your relationship with a VIP permits, do encourage them to make that move. Offer to help make it easy for them, do private trial runs or whatever it takes short of bullying them. The National Council for the Blind, NCBI, and Irish Guide Dogs will provide free training if desired. The benefits of a mobility cane are enormous to both the guided and the guide alike. For the guide, it will make guiding in public areas so much easier. Most people will give you space when they see the cane, so you don't have to try to avoid them. The same goes for the VIP when out alone. The cane commands respect and excuses what might otherwise appear as odd behaviour. It can even get a person out of trouble. For example, one day I got on a crowded bus where some people were standing. I put out my hand to lean on a rail, but instead succeeded in putting it rather inappropriately on a lady. She spotted my cane, accepted my apology, and made a joke of it. Imagine the scene without the cane, when my action might not have been taken as the mistake it was, and the encounter would have been a lot less friendly. Or think of walking into the wrong gender toilets. Different reactions with or without a cane? Or simply finding steps. It all seems so obvious for any measure of independence, but nevertheless it is a psychological hurdle, especially for those moving from functional sight to visual impairment. To the sighted, you may want to do everything possible for the VIP, but while some assistance is imperative, please encourage independence, particularly in getting out alone in public as far as may be practicable. You won't be able to improve their sight, but you can help with technique and especially courage. This is particularly so for someone going through the process of sight loss. Even small achievements or the stretching of boundaries are so rewarding. Familiarity and independence. Think again about the opening comments of this article about listening and observing. As a sighted person, do not presume you know best for those who are visually impaired. The most common initial mistake is that the VIP is taken by the upper arm and half lifted up or down steps. If you allow the VIP to take your arm, they can balance themselves best, so leave as much initiative of movement with the VIP as practicable. There will of course be moments when the balance of initiative has to move more to the guide, particularly in the face of imminent danger. Allow VIPs to carry out tasks that they can do or want to attempt. Good on them. It may take longer and look clumsy, and you may have to assist with certain actions within the task, but it is important that they do it. Coming from a background of significant DIY experience, and using that invaluable sense of touch and feel, there are many such tasks that I will do, and by way of example, on one occasion I was repairing a bench seat, and as usual was having difficulty just finding the few tools around me for lack of strong contrast against the ground. My onlooking friend observed, and went and got a large sheet of white paper, and put it under the tools, which made life so much easier. How kind and observant! The thought made my day, and there was no attempt to take over the task. Walking with a VIP. When guiding a VIP, as described earlier, remember that you need to widen the visual path ahead for two people. This sounds obvious, but it is easy to get distracted or slip back to autopilot, which can easily result in a nasty bump. This can happen frequently when you're doing something like entering premises, where your attention is focused on seeking out what you are looking for. You will develop a sense of what verbal alerts are best for your VIP. This can be hard to get right. An example is, if you and your VIP go somewhere unfamiliar and you warn them of a step up at a front door, and if they are going in and out there frequently after that, they may not need a warning after a time of familiarization. It's all about observing and developing rapport. Be aware too that if your VIP is using a cane, outstretched it is almost a meter ahead, so avoid guiding your VIP with their cane too close to someone in front. This happens regularly when there is nobody in front of the guide, but there is someone in front of the VIP. And do remember the opening comment about steps. By the way, steps down are a bigger VIP challenge than those going up. On that same subject, it is helpful to know how many steps. If there are quite a number, don't try to count, but give an approximation and then a warning when nearing the end. If there are just a few steps, it is helpful to give the number, but when counting, make sure to include the surface you are going to arrive on. So think of the number of rises or drops of the foot, and do say if there is a handrail, a very helpful item, and if it is on the right or left. Be conscious that a VIP's needs may differ substantially from light to poor light or darkness. If your VIP is to develop confidence in you, consistency is vitally important. There is little reassurance if a guide warns of 4 sets of steps and then forgets the 5th, or has a habit of walking the VIP into obstacles. Your vehicle. When giving a lift to a VIP, and as you approach your vehicle, it is likely they may not see whether it is facing towards them or away from them, or which side you are approaching. Try closing your eyes and have a friend act this out with you without comment, and you will understand the confusion. So do say which way it is facing, and explain which door they are being taken to, like front passenger or rear driver's side, etc., but preferably not the driver's seat, unless, of course, you want a rather exciting journey. Technology. Like sighted people, VIPs are at very different levels of technical literacy, but at whatever level they are, they will still need assistance. The most useful item is the mobile phone, and there are various models with software that speaks menus, text messages, and phone numbers, and a variety of other features. It is well worthwhile a VIP investing energy in expanding their horizons with this technology, but you may have to spend time encouraging them and helping them develop their ability and confidence. Mobile phones can often take on a mind of their own, and VIPs may need help to sort out some of this erratic behavior. As a sighted person, just close your eyes for a bit. This will help you better understand the difficulties that VIPs face, and this will make your assistance to them all the better. Computers are a bit more of a challenge, but if your VIP has some aptitude, their horizons can be expanded, notably for simple matters of communication, reading hard copy material, and audio books. There are other means for this latter one also. Contact can be made with NCBI and through them to other sources of assistive technology, or you can search the internet. But you or someone you know who can perform a real labour of love will be of immense help with learning and dealing with those computer problems and challenges that keep turning up. Do try to prioritise your VIP's needs over other demands on your skills in this area, as this can have a significant impact on a VIP. When doing something that your VIP wants or should try to do themselves on the computer, resist the temptation to take the keyboard. Instead, just patiently direct them. Develop simple orientation vocabulary, using perhaps points of the clock, or such words as top center, bottom left, etc., and work through menus and the like. VIPs, if you can type, make notes for next time.